Well, meanwhile, it's a different story for Medicaid. Reports say that more than 400,000 people have already signed up for free coverage in the expanded program. And that raises big concern that Obamacare will have a permanent shortage of paying customers and become an expansion of a costly entitlement. Lou Dobbs is the host of Lou Dobbs Tonight on Fox Business. Hi, Lou.
How you doing, Allison?
10 times as many people have signed up for Medicaid as they have for private insurance through Obamacare. The Associated Press today calls that, quote, a success story. Is this a success story?
The more people we have on Medicaid, it is successful in that we're getting help to people who need it based on their living so close to the poverty line. But it is an absolute tragedy for this country that we've got 50 million people on food stamps. We've got upwards of 70 million people, Allison, who for at least 1 month last year were on Medicaid. It is truly tragic. It is not success.
But Lou, are these 500,000 people who were never eligible for Medicaid before, or they could never access these services before?
Well, that's a terrific question because we just don't know the answer to it. More importantly, the government doesn't know the answer to that. They sought to raise, of course, enrollments for Obamacare and Medicaid. But their thought was that the ratio would be something like 9 to 7, 9 people on Medicaid for every 7 that signed up for Obamacare. The question arises because of what we're witnessing here. And by the way, this is a program that costs $300 billion a year just for the federal government, approaching $200 billion a year for our states. The question arises, who is to be covered by Obamacare? You have the poor already going to Medicaid. You have the elderly, 65 plus, going to Medicare. The constituency for Obamacare now looks to be in question. And highly questionable is the model they created. That is to take premiums, high premiums from the young who need little health care to apply to the extraordinary burdens of the elderly's Medicare. This health care. This is truly a program that is in far deeper trouble, more profound trouble than simply a website that is broken.
And Lou, of course, I mean, as you point out, no one wants to see our fellow Americans slip through the safety net. That is the purpose of a health program like Medicaid. But where are we getting these extra federal dollars at a time when obviously we're in trouble with belt tightening?
Well, we've seen, first of all, higher taxes. I mean, we've seen an increase in the marginal tax rate for so-called high earners. We have seen additional fees. We've got taxes on medical devices, for crying out loud. We've seen the reinstitution of the payroll tax. We are watching a greater taxation result. There are talks right now going on Capitol Hill between the White House and the leadership in both parties about these new fees. And of course, there is always the time-honored deficit to fall back upon. And this administration, like so many before it, shows no aversion to going deeper into debt through higher deficits.
All right, Lou Dobbs, it'll be very interesting to see when the White House releases their numbers this week. Thanks so much.
Again, we mentioned Jay Carney is now briefing with reporters there. A lot of this is going to come up clearly at the briefing today. Meanwhile, President Obama getting advice from former President Bill Clinton. He's the man Mr. Obama often calls his explainer-in-chief. Did you hear this from today?
I personally believe, even if it takes a change in the law, the president should honor the commitment the federal government made to those people and let them keep what they got.
So the president should honor the commitment the federal government made to those people. Now, was he softening the beachhead for some sort of policy shift here, or was he freelancing on his own? We want to know what you think at home.
Will Bill Clinton change President Obama's mind?
Yep, that's our Twitter question of the day. Send me a tweet at Bill Hemmer what you think about that.
And to me, at Allison Camerata. We'd love to hear from you.
Also, we're going to debate this coming up in 20 minutes, too, so more from Bill Clinton on that.
Well, they fought the implementation of Obamacare every step of the way, but now a bit of a shift in focus from the GOP. House Republicans set to vote on a bill that will allow Americans to keep their health plans after millions have gotten cancellation notices. That vote scheduled for Friday. House Republicans also proposing legislation to delay the individual mandate, just as the president delayed the mandate for employers.
Meanwhile, senators are calling for 2 government watchdogs to launch independent investigations on Obamacare, and the senator leading the charge is Kay Hagan, a Democrat who voted for Obamacare, up for re-election in North Carolina next year, which will be a race that a lot of people will be watching. Hagan saying the problems with are, quote, simply unacceptable, and that Americans deserve answers and swift solutions. From the senator from North Carolina.
All right, Bill.